What's up, New South Wales? Welcome back. It's great to have you guys here. Listen, you've all just been out there with the fans. We've been watching on the screens in here. The reactions have been huge. You've got so many people here who've been camping overnight. There was a woman out there who gave birth 3 months ago, and her husband was like, you go to the den. I mean, this is absolute commitment to you four and this movie. How was it out there for you, Emmett?
She must have really long nipples.
Well, that's how we're gonna start it. Anybody, I'm gonna move on for a second in my comment. I also love the representing of Chile and the flags and the shout outs for you out there, Pedro. Was it good to see so many people come all this way to see you all?
It was an incredible feeling to go out there and
Would you like to comment on their nipples, Pedro? I'll be
he is a chaos demon when he wants to be. Anyway, it was really we've had such a good time here in Sydney. None of us want to leave, and I guess to sort of conclude our trip with that sort of reception has been very moving and emotional for all of us. We're having an incredible time. We love you guys a lot.
And we can see it like that right back all four of you that indeed out there. So let's get into what we're going to see tonight and what we've all been waiting for, apart from seeing you, of course. Matt Shakman, who of course did WandaVision, an incredible visionary on that. He's painted a beautiful poem in the great world for you all to play in. Vanessa, what was it like working with him? This is his first feature, right?
Yes, it was. And, he was working on it years before we came along. And, I'd always thought it's such a hard thing. Think about all the comics of the decades, thousands of them. To then decide, okay, we're going to make this movie and we're going to tell this version in 2 hours of this family. And are we going to do an origin story where we see them, how they got their powers? They began to do it years later when they've gone through. I mean, it was just, I can't even begin. And he was the leader, really, in that, deciding with Kevin Feige and Lou at Marvel how to come into it and introduce this 2025 version to everybody. And he did an amazing job. I mean, he really did. And the most beautiful thing was him going, no, we're going to have it true to the 1960s in our alternate retro future. That be a thing. And he showed us tons of Kubrick images. And he was just a real visionary with it. And you have to be, because there's so much to choose from.
And Joseph, am I right in saying that a lot of this was like set built, like we're talking like 30 foot high, Herbie's real. A lot of stuff is like practical on set be able to, I guess, react on, which makes it easier, I think, for actors doing a big fantasy like this.
Certainly. I remember the first day we were on Pinewood and we were doing we had 3 weeks of table work and rehearsals, which is such a luxury. And he took us on a tour of these sets, which were obviously built in time. Some of them were completely built and some of them were works in progress. But it certainly fed into this idea that the scale of this film was quite something, and extraordinary. And the texture needed to feel tangible, and to set this world up. He didn't want to hide behind CGI way, he didn't have to. And that's really gutsy. And it was inspiring, and also it was frightening as well, because you're aware of all of there are so many moving parts in a film of this scale, and so much virtuosity. It's so inspiring being around people that are good at their job, and we had an abundance of that on this. And thankfully, the practical sets were there, but the special effects, I didn't have to set myself on fire. Basically.
Oh, that's so good to hear for OHS reasons. There's so many complications. Evan, I suppose the big effect really is Ben Grimm and when he becomes the Thing and then lives like that. We were talking earlier today and I asked you about the fact that Ben is the tough exterior is actually hiding a lot of emotional stuff under there. How was that to tap into that for you? And also, you were describing to me how you had to occupy the space as the Thing.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of things that I like, big shoulders that I could wear, and I wore a bunch of different weights and stuff. But that stuff is kind of boring to me. Well, like what is interesting to me is that these four were a family before they were transformed, before the weekend of Fantastic Four, and like anyone that you know that goes through some kind of trauma, when you look at them, you see them as they were. And so I was there in these scenes with my family here. And I think it was this beautiful, almost an accident that I didn't look like the Thing. And when they saw me as me. And I think that is how Reed and Sue and Johnny would look at Ben, not as the Thing, but as the man who was inside there. And I think that really added and imbued this with a sense of humanity that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
I think that's what Marvel in all of their films do really well, Pedro, is that whether they're making us laugh at the characters or feeling like we're in the edge of our seats with the characters, is because they've set the stakes of the relatability that they all have for us. And that is something that we could feel here when you're out there, or even here now, but with the four of you. But tell us about the process of the table reads and getting to know each other. I mean, two of you have worked together before, but that sort of like how to develop that family thing, because it has to feel real for us to enjoy it and then buy the stakes.
Totally. Listen, this more than anything I've experienced has had this kind of like magical pool for all of us. Joe and I, we'd just worked together. We were in this like insane set and experience in Malta doing Gladiator 2. I'm just sort of gobsmacked by the whole thing, very bonded. And Eben and I come from the same sort of like theater trenches of New York City. We're in the same casting rooms for the last 15 years. He was getting jobs that I wasn't. And Vanessa, we have a lot of mutuals, and she was a big reason I got the part, to be honest with you. I was a really nice person cast. Yeah, she had a kind of mutual idea with Matt Shackman to see if I was available, and so it just was this kind of very destined family for all of us, and it felt that way the instant that the four of us were together, and we all felt it. And we continue to feel it. We love each other deeply. We fight each other. We with lots of love.
Not physically.
Sometimes physically. They attacked me. Yeah. I love them very much, and I hope that the love that we put into it is something that you're able to witness and experience when you see the movie.
You know, Vanessa, I mean, you're very integral to Pedro, the relationship between, Reed and Sue in this as well. It's really important. You've done so much varied things, whether it's Princess Margaret and The Crown, or, battling with Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible films. How different was this process for you, being in this sort of family scenario and sort of working in a different level, that it's a bit more like, it's fantasy, it's a bigger universe you're dealing with, as opposed to the practical stuff you've done before.
Yeah, to be honest, just when you say that, I feel like I had this feeling on The Crown, because that was a family who was starting. It was first season. We didn't have anyone watch it. I thought my granny might fall asleep during it. We had no idea. And similarly, we were a family on this. We don't know how it's going to be received, but we had the best time, and that makes everything amazing, because then you're not attached to the outcome so much, but you're just excited to share it and like feeling the love that people have before they've even seen it. And I haven't had that family feeling in a group and a cast since that show. And if you think about Mission Impossible, everyone's kind of lone rangers in it. Everyone's having to do their own thing. You kind of get used to that. But to come into something as daunting as this, and to know that we got each other, have my little brother, our best friend, and
Your husband.
It was such a gift. My God, and every single minute of it was a gift. And I really praised it. That's in the soul of the movie.
Well, it's something we could feel it here as well. But who was really a comic book nerd growing up? Was anyone deeply in the lore? Was this something that you were like, I so much want to be a part of this universe? Ever, I'm seeing you sort of think about it. I'm just thinking about it. Yeah. I would always think that going to just the movies, you would like, I want to be a part of the Marvel Universe. Because when it comes to you, when, I guess, Kevin Feige or indeed,
My nephews are really into the comics, which really surprised me. I thought I thought they'd be way beyond it. I was heading towards my sister's house when I first got the call, and when my nephews found out that I was talking about Fantastic Four, they lost it. They were like, "You?"
Brutal.
And I've been to comics. I was into the darker stuff. I liked, I don't know, like The Preacher and
Oh, yeah. I
The
can.
Authority and
I love the authority.
yeah.
It's a right.
It's a rival. Whatever.
Joseph, tell us a little bit then about like, I was speaking to you earlier today in the junkets where we were talking about the setup of the family, I guess like a WhatsApp group or a messenger group where you all sort of start to communicate with each other. How important is that sort of bonding for, what Vanessa was talking about just then, to feel that camaraderie, to feel the family off screen and on screen? It has to happen almost consistently, not just at table read, but it's going to happen when you're texting each other ideas or memes or even just like, let's go to a restaurant, what do we do?
Well, this group chat, can you say that? Yeah. This group chat could be important. This group chat was set up before we started filming. Really? Which is gutsy, because you never know. And thankfully, as Petra mentioned, we'd worked together. And the chat on the group chat from the off was promising. Because we were just sending each other photos of famous fours from just from pop culture.
Okay.
And it was really strong. Everyone was coming up with good ideas. Yeah, and but one photo that was sent was a photo of this little group, this little Swedish group called ABBA. Pedro took it upon himself to take that photo and went, okay, we're ABBA. That's how the group chat's called ABBA. And it's important to have it, but there was a lot of bonding that was happening outside the group chat. But it was clear that if the group chat was anything to go by, then it wasn't going to be a boring job.
ABBA is very important to us Australians too. It's very much part of our cultural identity here. That was their first big hits. We're here in Australia after Waterloo, so you are in safe hands here amongst these fans. Look, I guess we're almost out of time. I guess I prefer to put it to you like, was there something that you weren't expecting going into this, that you're now coming to the premiere next week in LA? They're like, oh my God, this has been incredible because of this one thing. Is it 4 of you? What does it happen?
No, dude, what we were not expecting is like this. And like, this is like our 4th stop on this tour, and the feedback and like the importance that it has for so many people has been so inspiring to me, and I think for the rest of us. It's just been beautiful. You make something and you don't really know what you've made until it's out there into the world. The audience will tell you what it is, and no one's even really seen it yet. But just this energy, I gotta tell you, man, I was out there, I started crying. Like, people were so emotional. It's profound. I don't think any of us have ever experienced anything like this, and we're so humble and grateful. And man, I just feel so profoundly lucky to be part of this thing with all of you guys.
That's all we do. I think we all live the same way, but you guys making the journey down here after so many cities you've been flying all around the world. And you must be exhausted. There's a lot of stuff going on in all of your lives, but to make the effort to come to Australia, we are such big Marvel heads here, and we really, really do appreciate you all coming down here. Thank you all so much. I can see it. You're just such beautiful people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do a selfie. Is that okay? Can we? I know you guys got flags given before. If we could get the flags ready, I might do a selfie. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just take a photo of them with you guys. Is that okay? Is that okay if we quickly do that? And then we'll let you go. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn my phone off here. So I did that almost exactly 15 minutes, by the way, you guys. It was beautiful. You come on over here now. All right, you guys, we'll turn the lights up a little bit over here now. You've all got to make sure you're wearing the Go Galactus. You're over here. You got the Silver Surfer good, yeah? All right, the lights are going down. Have it come over here next right here. We're going to let our eyes adjust. All right, you're good. Oh, some people... Some people are just choosing to stand. If you want to stand, go for it. Let's just do it. Everyone stand up. Roll a bit, it's all, but otherwise you're going to get seat.
Anyone listen, listen, forever to this.
That's it.